Welcome to another episode of the Lucky Clover podcast. I'm Austin with co-host Aaron and Matt. Celtics been about 4 games, no, three. Hold on, let me get this
Three or
right. How
four.
many?
Three or
Three or
four.
four. It's been some games since our last recording. Celtics are now 7-3. One loss was obviously the one against the Bulls. That was atrocious, and then 2 overtime losses to the Cavs. You'll take it.
Cavs are good.
Cavs are mad good. As we said in our last podcast, we predicted Cavs are tough.
They're nasty.
Yeah.
We'll get into that matchup more so. Celtics last game they just played was against the Memphis Grizzlies. Pretty good outing until like the last final minutes. I mean, it's a game of runs, but those games where they almost choke it away. I swear, ever since the Miami series, ever since I see that shit, I'm just like, when they start like giving up like leads in like the final like minute of the game, I'm just like, can you just close this shit out, dude?
I get PTSD for real.
No, it's
Yeah.
Think about that Jimmy Butler shot.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So
That was
Celtics,
tough.
one thing I think we can all agree on is that this offense is looking lethal right now. I mean,
Best offense in the league statistically.
no, yeah.
I think it's the most points per game.
I think they're averaging the most, or is either most or second most points per game in the league
It's
right
something
now.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm a stats guy.
So I think offensively, I'm liking the groove of this team. I mean, they're really getting out and running. A lot of drive and kicking. I think they also have more offensive options. I mean, we discussed this, but they have more offensive options than they did last year. I mean, Hauser was riding the bench all last year, and you never really knew what you had out of him, even though you just knew that in Maine he was a sniper from three, but never really got the run last year. Malcolm Brogdon obviously has been super helpful because he can just explode to the basket whenever he needs, and
Sure.
that's probably something he does better than Smart, is being able to drive to the basket strong like that and finish at the rim. Even though Smart, he's had a rough little shaky start to the season, but the past 2 games he's been good himself. Actually, I think he had 15 points and 12 dimes last night.
Yeah, he was
And only like 2 turnovers.
Um,
That's exactly
so
what you
good.
want to see from Smart. I think he only took like 11 shots too.
To go back, if you guys want the stats, we are the third bet. We score the third most. We score the according to ESPN, we scored the 8th most points, but according to the NBA, I think we scored like the third. I mean, but we're the highest. We're the highest offensive rating.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Not points per game rating is what I meant.
offensive
Which
rating.
is a much better, which is honestly even better because but yeah, according to the NBA, according to NBA.com, like we're third best in score points, but like rating includes like pace, place, and efficiency. So
Right.
it's a big deal.
Yeah. I think definitely watching this team as compared to like the latter stages of last season, it's very evident that like I think Joe has even said it, and you can tell by his coaching style, we're not like a defensive minded team anymore. We're definitely like offensive minded. Like I can definitely see the shift in the style of play. But like it's also, I can't tell if it's concerning, like it's actually like an issue, or if it's concerning just because like we know how good we were defensively last year and we know how far that took us. And like now sometimes I watch this team and it's like almost every single quarter, it's like giving up 25 to 30. And it's just like, I know the offense can make up for it, but it's so like nerve wracking in a way. And it's like, I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know if I prefer this offensive juggernaut that we have right now, or like the defense last year that could consistently hold teams to like 90 points. So like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough for me as a fan. I mean, but like it's fun to watch. Like there was a point in that second quarter last night, we went on like a 20-0 run, and it was just like the passing was incredible. There's like 8 or 9 players that can take the shot. Like it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think it's probably got to be. It's like it to me. Like it's like you have other teams are missing star players, but Rob is huge. Rob is still huge. I think you can't just say like Rob automatically. Rob is going to change the offense as well. He's not the best offense player, but I actually think he's positive enough where I think he's probably neutral. I think he might just Mike Strictly. I think we might have almost nearly the same offense, and then obviously a way better defense. And for reference, the defensive rating is 20. It's not great. 30 is the worst, obviously, and 1 is best. But like I said, like if a 20th ranking defense with
Rutrow.
Oh, I lost Aaron there for a second. I think he was just saying like, all right, he's back.
We got him.
I think he was trying to say like a 20th ranked defense, but this guy
Yes.
without Rob, like as soon as he's able to come back and be healthy, it'll be good. But I have a question though. Like when I was watching the game last night, like I get your point. Like I see a lot of fans and people are just like, oh, but it's without Rob. Don't worry. It's without Rob. Don't worry. But like when Desmond Bain is beating Derek White to the basket, like that has nothing to do with Rob. Like when Jaylen Brown is getting beat one-on-one with this, nothing with Rob. And it's part of me is like, I wonder if the defense last year was just such like an identity thing with Udoka. And I don't want to be like, I miss Udoka because like, you know, he screwed himself over with that.
You go.
That defense was like his identity that he brought. Like we didn't see it with Stevens that much. We don't really see it with Joe right now. Udoka brought that. Even when Rob was out, Udoka brought that.
Right.
So like,
I mean,
is the defense issues without Rob, or is it like an identity thing?
I think but it also brings a confidence when you have a guy like Rob behind you, and I think the team could rally behind that. So identity is definitely you can still get that identity with Missoula if you also have Rob. But I do think that like, but yeah, like I said it last time. I think I'm like probably like I'm like super easy on Missoula because he's a rookie coach. But like I think that is something that like could be looked into. I think if you're a rookie coach, like you could honestly like you know it's we're not talking about famously there's that that old Rockets coach D'Antoni. D'Antoni was like
Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni was a horrible defensive coach and like 50 and 60. He's 20 years in league, still horrible. Right. So we're talking about Missoula. Missoula is like someone who's still, like you said, I think he's still finding his identity. So maybe so there's a question of like, can Missoula clearly knows how to run this offense, but does he know how to run the defense? I think like, you know, same way you have young players with potential, you can have young coaches with potential. So good question.
Yeah.
But I cut you off, Austin, though.
No, it's fine. I think it's a combination of things. I definitely think it's, you know, part of it is definitely Rob not being back yet. I think another part of it is also, I mean, it's an 82 game season, and I don't think you should be letting people waltz to the basket whenever they want. But I mean, it is really hard especially if you're coming off a deep playoff run and trying to make another deep playoff run, like playing balls to the wall defense like every night is going to tire you out. And I'm not using that as an excuse to like play lackadaisical defense, but I'm not going to expect them to come out every night and be like clamping up like they were in the latter half of last season. I'm going to give him some leeway on that. I do think overall there's definitely lapses. Especially it's Smart's been better lately, but I mean, same thing with Jaylen. Like Jaylen's off-ball defense, like sometimes he'll get lost. Some like the people on him. That stuff. That's the stuff that's got to be fixed in my like when you're just a focus thing. Like if opponents are making tough shots over you, I mean, you're testing as good as you can. That's one thing, but when you're getting lost or losing like cutters to the basket and stuff like that, that's where I have an issue. So I'm not super concerned yet. I do think, like you guys were saying, it's got to be an identity thing. They got to kind of find it again, especially until they get Rob back, because even when you get Rob back, he's still not probably going to be playing like, 25 plus minutes a game. They're probably going to ease him back into it, and you're still going to have to, play Horford majority of the night, as well as other
Horford
bigs.
Play against. He played last night. He skipped.
Yep. He had actually one of his best offensive games, at least this season last night.
He sat out the Knicks game, right?
Yep, sat out the Knicks game.
I didn't get to watch that game. I was working, but again, just like offensive explosion, right? 130.
Oh yeah, the threes are raining. 27 of them broke the record.
Yeah, it's like,
and
it's crazy.
We're ridiculous right now. So 387 is our 3-point percentage, which is, right? That's sixth in the league. It's
39%.
But
Joe likes math.
Yeah, 38. Yeah, 38.7.
And
Uh,
Hauser
what do you
has
want?
like the second best 3-point percentage from everyone that's
Oh,
played. It was like
yeah.
20 minutes or something. That is
Like shooting like 50 something right
and
now.
I like, yeah, it's like 55. Like I said it, man. I don't know who I said it to. I know I said it. Should have recorded it. Last year, I literally was like, if this guy can just not be like a defense, he doesn't have to be like a Marcus Smart. If he can just not
That's
be
the
a liability, he will work into the rotation. Because guys like that, like pure shooters, is like what we've been missing for so long.
years.
Like the guys that Tatum and Brown and Smart, when they drive and take like 3 defenders with them, the guy they kick out to, like we thought it was Jay Crowder, like it wasn't Jay Crowder. Like I'm sure there's been guys along the way that I'm forgetting. Last year in the finals, we thought it was Pritchard. It's not Pritchard, but like it's Hauser, man. Like that guy can shoot the lights out of the friggin' ball. Like seriously,
It's a quick release too, and he only needs a little bit of daylight
his
to
arc
get it
is
off.
bomb. His arc is
And-
you
and
can
his-
tell like he
Yeah.
properly learned how to shoot. Like
And his-
you know, like Tatum has like that weird like he has like a weird ass form, but like
His
Hauser-
jumper's smooth.
It's
But Hauser's smooth.
more
Hauser's
broken
form is
smooth,
pure.
you guys.
Hauser's
Hauser's
good.
more of a like straight shooter where
Yeah.
where
Textbook,
Tatum
like
Tatum has a
textbook
shoot a shot that can be like Tatum has like a fluid shot where that is perfect for like fadeaways and off the
Mhm.
dribble, where Hauser just looks
That
like he's
spot up
doing a
catch
free throw
and shoot.
from everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Deadass.
I just mentioned,
I mean he's shooting 55% from three. I mean
yeah.
it's just it's unheard of. It's ridiculous. Grant's still shooting above 50%. We're still on fire.
Hey, random thing about Grant last night. When you were watching the game, I don't know why he didn't take a single shot the whole game. I
But
was
he
really
hit the two
weird
big
because
free throws,
he hit the
man.
free throws though. He did hit the free throws. I don't know. That was just a random thing. It was just weird to me because I'm like, dang, Grant, you gotta pop those, bro. Like when you get open.
Yeah,
I mean, he
for
had
sure.
that one where he pump faked and then they called a travel on it. I'm like, you had space to shoot
when
that.
I was watching though, like I remember watching and he went up for the free throws and just pulled up his stats and he had like no points. I was like, oh damn, because like it wasn't a thing where I was watching and I'm thinking, Grant, like shoot the ball, like you haven't shot all night. He was still playing well. I just felt like he had the one where you're saying he popped up for the 3, took a dribble, traveled. That was the one where I'm like, yo, fucking shoot that. But besides that,
yeah,
it seemed like he wasn't the guy meant to shoot on that possession. But then I like how like last 30 seconds, he hasn't shot all night. He was
drained
begging for
it.
free throws. Like he wanted to take them.
Mhm.
And so like again,
For
that's
sure.
just a sign of maturity, a sign of confidence, like such a great bench piece. And he's gonna make it so difficult this summer because like is he
when
a
he
guy
tries to get paid.
overpay to keep? It's like I don't even he is replaceable as hard as it is to say, but like he's also like
it's hard to.
favorite. He's glue. He's like the glue. Like it's gonna be so difficult.
Great locker room guy,
It's-
big body, can play D.
Yeah.
Can guard multiple positions, perimeter defender.
He knows his role.
Yeah.
It's the problem is that he's that middle ground guy where like you can get if you can get like a Noah Vonleh, I think Noah, I actually like we talked about before. I think Noah Vonleh is obviously being overplayed. He actually is playing a lot less. He's averaging like 25 minutes. He's averaging 12 now, which obviously mathematically means he's been like barely playing when he does play now, because that's just he's half of the minutes in per game. But a guy like Vonleh, like he's like there's a bunch of guys who are like maybe better and worse versions of Vonleh, but like this Grant is like you either get guys who are like who are like gonna ask you for a ton of money that are like good or like good chunk better than Grant, or guys that are really like not close to Grant's level. It's Grant is like if people take 2K, Grant's that guy who's like I think in 2K he's 77, 79 overall, and that's that range. As those guys who are C plus players in the grand scheme of things, but B minus players are really hard to find. That's a Marcus Smart. That's a who can't play much offense. So Grant's like like Matt said, like when Grant doesn't shoot the ball, like you're not like what the heck's happening, because Grant can contribute outside of shooting. Like he can, like he's not the best defender in the league. He's not the best passer, but he does a lot of the little things right, and he's solid at a lot of stuff. Yeah. So like that's credit Sam Hauser. Like Hauser's not shooting well. Like Hauser's not very good, but Hauser's shooting well consistently. Like I'm looking at stats. He's shooting 55% for 3. So that's me for if you're Grant, like you can have those days. If you're Hauser, like maybe you can't, but Hauser's not having those days. That's so
I'm
that's
gonna
part of the
say,
reason our offense is so great.
I'm gonna say something crazy right now.
Yeah.
Now you might be like, yo, what about like Tatum? What about Brown? I honestly believe like this is just how I feel. And maybe it's just because Tatum shoots so much and he shoots so many difficult shots where I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it misses. Hauser is the only guy where every single shot I think it's going in. Like every
Yeah, I
single
know.
one. Like even when Tatum goes on those runs,
I
sometimes
mean,
I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna overshoot this, and like maybe it's too difficult of a shot because he's got like the hot hand. But like every single time Hauser gets an open three, like I literally think it's going in. And
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
my
very
heart, that's
pure
I
the
think
only
shooter.
person I feel that for on the team. Not
mathemat-
a bad
mathematic
thing.
mathematically, he's the third. He makes the third most percentage of shots. Number one is Grant with 63%. And but like
Who's
that's I think
two? It's
that
got to be Tatum,
the
right?
Von Light. Tatum is 7,
Yo,
but like but he
I'm a big
let me
man
list out
tax. That's big man
let me
tax.
list out let me list about the field goal attempts. Grant is 63% at 4.5.
Yeah.
Vonleh is 59% at 2. Hauser is 57% at 4. Horford is 51% at 7. He's been great this season. Cornet is 50% at 1.7. Justin Jackson 50% at 2. And Jason Tatum 49.8% at 20 shots per game.
Yeah.
He is shooting. I think he's almost. I think combined they're all shooting about the amount he's shooting. I mean, I'll do the math. It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, like Hauser is knows his role and he's shooting open shots. So when you shoot 57%, that's because he knows the role and he's really good at shooting open shots. And Tatum Tatum is going to miss shots because he's going to check up some tough shots because the ball's in his hands. But yeah, I mean Hauser, I'm happy with Hauser. That's 57%. He's we're not giving him the ball to him like 24/7. We're giving the ball to him when he can't when he's open, and when he's open, he's nailing him. That's what you got to do.
I like the little bench unit that the little bench lineup that Joe has with Tatum, Brogdon, Grant, Hauser. And I think it's like against the Knicks it was Vonleh because Cornette had to leave.
That lineup is elite, bro.
Yeah, that lineup is really killer. I like
when
because
Tatum, Brogdon, and Hauser
yeah,
are out there
because
together, that's a crazy lineup.
yeah, because you obviously have Brogdon who can get to the paint like damn near at will and will draw in a lot of defenders, and then you're leaving guys like Sam Hauser, Tatum wide open, and that's just or Grant who also can shoot from outside too. So and Brogdon being the smooth passer he is he's gonna find those guys those looks. I love that lineup that when Missoula runs that one. The only the lineups I have an issue with is normally the ones where Jalen's kind of leading the pack because sometimes Jalen right now it's been rough.
True,
His
That's
decision making
true.
has still been rough. It seems like he's regressing in that area a little bit. Maybe he's got to
bit.
find his footing a little, but like
I feel like he sometimes gets like that bit of thought of if he's ever leading a lineup in a game where Tatum's on the bench and Tatum's been cooking, it's like, oh, now it's my turn. Like I gotta cook. And I feel like
for sure.
We obviously know how good Jalen is, and he's probably like the best. Like I probably couldn't pick a better guy to pair with Tatum in terms of like how they mesh together. But
for sure. Really good.
He definitely does. Okay, this all right. I was texting my buddy about this last night. There's something called the bozo gene. Okay, it's something that I coined, or I like to think that I coined it, and it's a. I'm obviously being funny here, but it's a gene inside of your DNA that no matter how good you're playing and how like on a roll you are, at any given moment you are inept to make an absolute like bozo play. And
sure.
Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart have that in their DNA. Like it's just a fact. Like Marcus Smart, perfect first quarter, and then last night when we need a bucket, tried like a behind the back in the middle of the paint.
That pass to Horford or something or whatever, and I was like,
that's bozo gene. And then Jalen does it all the time when he tries to lead the unit and he has his head down and he's
dribbles into traffic,
turning shit over, traveling. Yeah. I'm like, Jalen, like he needs to liquidate the bozo gene because he's too good. He's too good for that. Tatum doesn't have it anymore. Like Tatum has gotten rid of it.
Really, he really doesn't. He's. I mean, the guy holds the ball is playing 38 minutes a game. He's turning the ball over 3 times in this day and age where turnovers are a premium. Guys with averaging 4+, and he's making shots. Tatum. That I mean, this is why we talk about Tatum being an MVP candidate, is because Tatum was, if you after it was so good the first few years, and then had like a third year, we kind of regressed where he just kind of like chucked a lot of bad shots up, and like Tatum, and now Tatum's like not chucking up bad shots. He's just making it. He's Tatum is like closer to a top 6 player than he is any other a top 10 player.
Yo, I don't care. He is top 5 right now.
Yeah, he's top 5.
You
I
think
you got
not name 5 better.
Luka, Steph,
That's the only,
Giannis,
and Giannis.
I'm not in any order.
That is the only. I think
how's
it's
Jokic
hard.
this season?
It's
Jokic.
for me, it's a hard stop there after those 3. Like
Donovan Mitchell's playing well right now, but do I really want to say Donovan Mitchell's better than Jason Tatum? No.
It's not necessarily like
as of right now in the season. He's
honestly might be
great.
defense is the decider between the top 5. It might. I think Tatum might be full because I think he's the best defender out of Jokic, Donovan, and him. And then someone might be forgetting like John Morant. I don't know. I'm not a big John Morant believer. I'm sorry, but like his defense really seems really suck.
KD's name is always going to be in the conversation.
Sure, KD.
But it's like, when I think of like the top guys, and in this argument, I'm thinking like, who would I straight swap Tatum with right now on the Celtics team? Like Giannis, because generational player, he can fit anywhere.
Luka,
I don't even think you can necessarily be like 100% yes, because
defense,
the defensive side of the ball.
Defense.
And then Curry, I probably would, but then it's a positional thing. It's like
it's more positional. That's what it is. It's like I don't like
so valuable. Like
I do think Luka's better, but I do think Luka's better probably in a grand scheme of things. But I think Tatum. But like if you're talking about I think if you ask all 30 teams, they based off their current roster, it would depend because I do think that Tatum fits better in a lot of these rosters, including this one. I think I'm happy with Tatum in this roster.
I think Tatum would fit better on the Mavericks than Luka would fit on the Celtics.
Interesting. Maybe. I think about it. But like the thing is Mavericks, I think the reason that I put Luka so high is I think the Mavericks don't have as good of as a number 2 in I think the drop off between Luka is so big, and Luka is carrying that team by his back. And Tatum is this is a great team because Tatum is so good and Brown is so good.
Yeah.
And have so many.
And they have other pieces. Luka's I think that's how Luka likes it too. I think he he's literally the whole focal point of their offense. Like he's just he's always setting it up, just finding ridiculous passes. He can score at will, just toying with people.
Right.
I guess you guys are right. I guess it depends on what teams need, because I mean, scoring elite wing defenders are like you need those wing defenders too, and who can get buckets. You know, Tatum's like what 6'10", and he's probably the best defender on this. He's the best defender on this team right now. I mean,
for sure. And
it's not smart. It's Tatum.
Smart, but yeah. Smart.
I mean, and another thing is like they're even different. Like Tatum, small. I'd much rather small on a point guard, but I'd much rather Tatum on a small forward. Who didn't they ask? Didn't they? But now I say that loud. Didn't they ask him to lock up somebody? Didn't they have him on James?
That was Paulo Banchero.
That was Paulo in the Magic game. Tatum did that. Like that is.
Didn't the team ask him to like guard Morant?
I think someone he was asked. I can't remember the exact quote, but I think multiple people on the team wanted to guard him because they did not want him going off. That's what he said. He's like, I mean, I guarded him on possessions, but you'd have to look up the quote. But he said pretty much everyone wanted to take a crack at guarding Ja. But yeah, Tatum, he was disrupting Ja because Tatum, obviously he has like a lot of length too. So I think he like in one of the first time Ja tried to drive on him. I think he like literally packed it like off the glass. So
I think like what makes like Tatum so special to me is he's also a player that could not want to be a good defender, and like we can't be mad because he's so good offensively. But like he is taking a step where he wants to lock up the best guy on the other team. Like he wants to be blocking shots. Like think about the second Cavs game. Like he got the inbound, took it all the way.
So sick we didn't win that one.
Next possession, blocks Donovan Mitchell on a 3. Like that is an MVP. that is
No,
an
he's
MVP level play. He's playing
He's
like
so
an
good.
MVP.
he's
He
doing
has- yeah, he's unbelievable.
he's doing the good. I mean, he's doing the little things even when he's not shooting well. I mean, he's getting to the line. He literally got to the line in the last game they played against the Bulls. He got to the line 20 times that game, and I think he shot like 8 for 23. So he still ended up with like 36 points. That's like those are like the bad nights you want Tatum to have, is when he can get like high 20s or low 30s and he's shooting like he's not shooting well. And
You said 36, you said?
yeah, 36
36
points.
is high. That's high.
It's still really high. It's still really high. I'm
Yeah.
saying like I meant in terms of like when he's shooting bad, you want him to be getting to the line a lot so he can still
For
get
sure.
to like up that upper 20s or low 30s sometimes, like
Right.
when he's not shooting well. And that's and being able to do other things, like I think it was during the Bulls game. Someone had missed a shot. He was able to tap it out to get it to a player for an offensive rebound. And if he didn't get that, it would have been Bulls running the other way down 2 with like under like 30 seconds to go. You know, he's doing a lot of little things this year that's really making him stand out to me, and seeing I can definitely tell he's taken another leap. And the 3-point shot
sure.
isn't even that consistent yet. And I'm not too worried about that. I think he'll figure that out. I'm never. And it's not. It's not even like it's been like it's. I mean, he's still shooting like 37% right now, right?
Yeah,
He's shooting
correct,
37%. I think yesterday he was like 3 for 11, but
I think you're happy with that, with the amount
You're
of threes.
happy.
I think he's
Yeah.
9. I don't I think the days where he's gonna shoot like 40% are really, really rare because he's shooting
Mhm.
so much more now. So you're just gonna have more fatigue. But
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's he just I mean, well, I mean, look, this is we're Celtics fans, but if you're like, you shouldn't need to be a Celtic. You shouldn't need to watch. You shouldn't be a Celtics fan to be fawning over Tatum. He's been so amazing. We all love him,
Yeah.
obviously.
yeah. He's
But
shooting really well. I mean, he was on 50-40-90 splits for a bit, and now he's not. I don't think he's going to be able to keep 50-40-90, especially with the amount of shots the volume of shots he takes, and especially the degree of difficulty of shots. But I definitely think he can be high 40s, like high 40%, and then high 40s,
That's a good question.
and then
He's at
definitely
498 right
and
now.
then high 30s, and then definitely hovering around the 90% for free throws. I think he could be
For
over
sure.
90% for free throws.
Tatum is quite literally Tatum shot 100, has made 100 shots, and is attempted 201. He's
Yeah.
quite literally
That's
the
great.
it's very funny. It's very funny. 30 he for 3-point percentage, he'd have to make 6 for 8 of his next. So again, but the grants, but he's, and then free throw percentage, he'd have to make good. He's about 87% with
87.
88% with 89 free throws. So
Yeah.
I mean, Tatum's just
I have a question about someone else. If we're, I think we've done.
I
a-
was gonna say that's
praise.
I was gonna say we all
Tatum nut
that's,
hugging
we
as
all love him.
usual.
Yeah, we all know how good he is, but I was having this debate with someone today. Initially I thought one way, and then I changed my mind. We're talking about Malcolm Brogdon. Obviously I love him, but someone proposed a question to me. It was straight swap right now. Would you swap Brogdon for Tyrese Maxey? And let me explain a bit. Like, initially I was like, yes, like Tyrese is unbelievable, all this stuff. But then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, one of the biggest issues Celtics teams in the past have had is like, not that we had amazing players, but they weren't the right players. And it's
For
like,
sure.
I think Brogdon is such a perfect fit for this second unit. And I changed my mind. I said I'd keep Brogdon, but if we didn't have like a Jaylen Brown, then I would want a Maxey.
Good question.
It's more scoring to pair with Tatum. But since we have the both of them, I think Brogdon is the perfect third guy that can lead a second unit. Like,
it seems absurd. It seems absurd on paper because Maxey, I've checked Maxey stats are crazy. He averages 24 points per game.
Mhm.
He does it efficiently. He gets a handful of rebounds, gets a handful of assists, gets even a steal a game.
He is the future.
I think he's going to be an all-star this season.
76ers.
But right now, like currently right now, he's currently like by a vacuum, he's better than Brogdon, at least offensively. I think probably defensively, Brogdon is good. I don't think Brogdon is good enough on defense to outweigh Maxey is so good on offense.
Yeah, that's
but I think but I think you might be right. There is a point where talent is not the end all be all. We had we
So the
had
2019 Celtics.
we that's gonna say we had guys with I want to say we had like 7 guys where we felt like that could be starters. I mean, look, Rozier
Harry Rozier,
was a
man.
starter. It was a starter on the Hornets, and he's a good player, and he can knock down a three. The guy was a 7th man. Marcus
Scary
Morris,
Terry.
Marcus Morris was off the bench, and Gordon Hayward, another called in the Hornets. And like we had 5 guys who crazy all starting. Obviously, Gordon had some injuries, but he's still a good contributor. So I think it's a good question. I think Brogdon. So yeah, I was gonna mention this. Brogdon is our 3rd leading scorer off the bench. He's scoring 14 points per game, and which is versus Marcus Smart's 11 and Horford's 10. He's a huge part of this team,
beautiful little split right there.
and
It's gorgeous.
he's a huge part of this team, and yeah, I mean, I think you ask 90% of teams, they're gonna 99% of teams, they're gonna put out Maxey, and I think that's correct. But I think I think Maxey is actually an awkward fit for us because of the ball dominance, and Brogdon is so versatile.
Brogdon's just a hooper, man. He makes
pure hooper.
He makes all the right decisions. I mean, everything he just looks so confident as soon as he gets out there and immediately changes the offense. I love having him off the bench, especially with that Hauser, Grant, Tatum lineup with the spacing and everything.
It's like, bro, like Brogdon's like he shows up, he ties his shoes, like he not smiling. There's no music, like he's here to like he's literally just here to hoop. Like he wakes up, no alarm clock, like he don't shower before he goes. Like he's just a hooper. Like he is just a straight up hooper.
Yeah, man doesn't shower now. He's just straight. That's all he does.
He's a straight stink.
He lives.
Yeah, and then on the topic of point guards, there's a beloved one that he's a DNP at the moment. His name is Payne Pritchard, and
he's not coming back unless Brogdon's injured.
The question now, though, is like clearly he's like maybe the league's best 4th point guard, and he really played in the finals, like knocking down shots against like crossing up Drew Holiday and shit, and it's like, what do we do? I personally think, and even though he's great, if one of those 3 guys goes down, out of respect for him and wanting to be a part of a team as opposed to riding the bench, I think we should trade him. And I think we should package him for
I don't think he's particularly amazing. I think you're happy with the depth because look, the guy did shoot 40% from 3 both of his seasons. He's got very little time this year, 2 for 7 from field goal, 2 for 4 from 3. I mean, there's no way you can bring any draw conclusions for that. But Creighton is rough on defense, and he's got a weird position. It's a good question. I think the guy played 71 games in 66 games last season as a contributor, and now he's 6 minutes. Yeah, I think I wouldn't trade him because I don't think he's got much value. But I think I'm gonna actually. I said what I was going to say, but I was gonna say Mueller. I think you're right. From what part of the thing is if you actually seen some clips, he's not been happy. He's not been, but he hasn't complained, but he looks unhappy. There's a clip of Missoula's first win. He's like totally disinterested. In the next 2 games, his body language doesn't change.
Tell me why I saw that and was thinking the same shit. Like I overthink that shit crazy. Like I'm always thinking about the vibes of the players. Like Blake Griffin and Peyton Pritchard. Like those are 2 guys getting plays for 2 totally different reasons. Like it's just ring chasing, riding out. Like Peyton wants to play, and
it's so tough for him. The guard rotation is stacked right now.
I know.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, I feel like we need to trade him. Like. Literally,
I feel like
I know I shouldn't be letting. This is why I can never be a GM because it gets too personal for me. But like literally, out of respect for him, like we cannot let him. And again, he's not like amazing, but he's not bad.
Contributor.
You want him to get
I will say that I actually think now looking back on his previous 2 seasons, I think I honestly think I would not be crazy. It would not be crazy to see him getting traded. A 25-year-old point guard who can give you 10 minutes a game, shooting 40% from three. Teams will want that.
He can
So
give other
the
teams
question is like,
points, man.
it have to be. The question is like, we need a. I think we. I think you package him in a second round pick to a team with a solid role player. I don't think that's crazy. I think we honestly could see him going to another contending squad who has a guy who doesn't fit in their rotation, because clearly like he doesn't fit in ours. So maybe yeah, I could. Yeah, I think would not be surprised if at the trade deadline you see a center who wants more playing time, and you see Pritchard want more playing time. That's a swap, like
Yeah.
very easily. Be interesting.
Yeah, it's
But,
going to be tough
I
for him to
mean-
get minutes. Obviously, I think he will. I mean, there's going to be nights where they rest Brogdon or White or Marcus, but yeah, it's going to be rough for him, especially when Rob
For
comes
sure.
back too, because then that's just another person in the rotation that's going to be ahead of him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rob, I really did want to speak on that because I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. Okay, I'm not going to get too
I know.
I'm not going to get too hype. So the other day, Rob had an interview. He was traveling with the team on this trip to New York and then Memphis. Rob had an interview, and in that interview, he pretty much said he's been doing a lot. He's been doing pick and roll stuff. He's been running up and down the floor. He's dunking again. He said he can pretty much do about anything, but they're holding him back because obviously they want to be super careful with him in any way possible. I mean, they want to make sure that they're not going to mess around with it. I think we're probably 6.5 weeks now from his surgery. So his original timetable for return is 8 to 12 weeks. There's been no setbacks. Rob said he's feeling good, and that's pretty encouraging to hear. I still think they're gonna try to keep him out until like for the full 12 weeks. I'm just going to assume that because I don't want to get my hopes up. I think they really do want to be careful with him. And then even if he is feeling right, get him into like playing condition. So that way he can at least log like 10 to 12 minutes when he gets back or something like that. So he can kind of like be a little bit in the rotation. So that makes me a little more confident, especially now seeing where the team's at. I mean, we're 7-3, and even though the defense isn't quite where we want it to be, hearing that he's feeling okay and that he could maybe be, I think honestly a late December appearance is not too out of the question, in my opinion. I'm going to assume they're keeping out the 2023, so I don't get my hopes up. But I
have the
could
biggest
see
boner, yo.
I can. I could
Yo,
see. I could
the
see.
second that he catches a Brogdon lob, it's
That's gonna be filthy. Because they probably. I honestly think they're gonna put like. I mean, depending on what the lineup is, I think most lineups. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just put Al on the bench and then just put Rob in the starting lineup. And then
they'll have to see.
And then you close, and then when he's fully healthy, then you close with Smart, Brogdon, Brown, Tatum, and Rob. That would be pretty filthy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would be pretty filthy. That's a pretty filthy lineup right there. That would be such a headache to play against. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The only team that could stop that five are themselves.
No, dead ass.
For sure.
Do you guys think they're gonna take the full 12 weeks and wait till 2023? Or do you think maybe he might return around like a little before Christmas or after Christmas, New Year's, around that time?
I don't think they'll rush him, but if he comes back, it's going to be because he beats the timetables. Because yes, like people are super cautious. Like obviously we see like Kawhi Leonard, who we don't even know where he is. Like he's had another setback, and he's clearly going to barely play. He's going to be load management for the rest of his career. But the medical teams right now are so good. They're like these medical medicine has been evolving. Even like we had huge breaks, like obviously like it's like 21st century and talking about like vaccines obviously, but on sports medicine has popped off. And we see a lot of guys we see a lot of guys with like, I mean, look at like KD had like tore his Achilles, that was out for like was it a season-ending injury? It came back the next season, like just the same KD, just a little older. And KD is not. KD is not taking a step back when it comes to like his injury. It's more of age. So maybe it's one and the same. But anyway, Rob. I think we'll see them push. I think we'll see them be very very babying
Very
Rob's minutes.
careful.
But I do think if he beats the timetable by 2 weeks, that means that means he's going to be on time. Where
Right.
that's like, and they'll still baby him, but like I said, like NBA, I'm very optimistic about it, bad when it comes to medical problems in the NBA right now, especially for Rob.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's no need to rush him because it's like the defense right now, like, it's not a problem until it's a problem.
Right.
Like, it's not a problem until we're losing to teams that we should be beating. Like, you mentioned it, like the 2 losses to the Cavs teams, like both in overtime, like whatever, hold your hand up high. It's a really good team. Like, the only loss that's inexcusable is probably losing by like 20 or whatever to the Bulls, but in 10 games, I'll take that. So
Yeah, for sure.
there's no need to rush back Rob.
Yeah.
Like, because like, I mean, it's almost at a point where it's time to call Rob like injury prone, low key. Like, if he comes back and he's
always been injury prone.
But if he comes back and like he needs like rest and like the one bad bounce, he's out again. It's like, well, now what? Now
That's what I'm scared of.
Trading him. So it's like, there's no need to rush. Like, I actually don't even care if we're like a 6 seed and when we have a full seed, if we have a full squad by the playoffs, because I know that we can still make the finals. So it's like, there's no need to rush in my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be super careful with them, as they should.
I thought we're going to be a 6 seed, but
keep them in bubble wrap. And
Yeah.
if they can, and they like you guys said, if they can sustain winning games right now, like if they're not falling off a cliff, especially by like that late December time, shit, why not keep them? Why not keep them the full 12 weeks and then some? Give them that extra summer vacation, get that get that college summer vacation, that 3.5 months type shit.
Yeah.
So now we get into some drama that is not about us. We don't really have drama like that, but we do love drama when it's not about us, especially when it comes to the Nets.
To peel back the veil a little bit, it was Matt. When you get back, how are you feeling? Matt. This is fun fact. This is a podcast with 3 human beings that have real lives outside this. Matt's powered through this. Has walked through his injuries.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm chilling.
Yeah. I'm chilling.
Matt was under the weather.
I actually feel better. Like, actually, just talking about the Celtics, maybe just it makes me. It's like a drug.
A warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's talk about Udoka.
Yes. Was it Udoka or was it
Udoka?
Or whatever you were.
The Nets. So we're going to talk about this for a while, but like if any listener, please continue listening. But if your listeners need a sum up, it's the Nets are fucking gross and weird
shit show,
and it kind of is shit show. That's you summed it up. But for reference, they had to Kyrie has always been off the deep end, but has now shared an anti-Semitic movie, and then they fired Nash. Not this different ordering, but it's not super important. But then they immediately we wanted to sign Udoka during the timeline when Kyrie had not been suspended, but had been openly saying openly sharing this anti-Semitic stuff, and then not apologizing for it. And they were like, it was just, and the Celtics obviously were like, we don't want to have it like we're not gonna Udoka's been on the bench for he's gonna spend the bench for a year. They let them interview him, and now it's just clearly are they going to do it? Well, Udoka would obviously leave because he wants to coach, but
it was interesting how the timeline of it happened because at least with the Udoka thing, because Nets fired Steve Nash immediately the same day. The first thing they're interested in is they're one of their top candidates is Ime Udoka.
They have been talking to him
Clear
for
that as soon as the Celtics had suspended him, the Nets were eyeing that situation the whole time.
Absolutely.
They were salivating at that shit, and
they don't care. They don't care about what happens.
No, we'll see, because apparently, there's been some updates to that situation.
Yeah, they kind of pulled back.
Yeah, the Celtics gave Nets permission to talk to Udoka. Said, "Go ahead, have at him. We don't." They pretty much Celtics like, we don't want him anymore. We want to be done with the Udoka era. So Nets were in the hiring process with Ime Udoka, but now they're having some second thoughts. Obviously, they're dealing with this Kyrie situation recently, and then Ime, whatever his situation, we still don't know the full details of it yet. But there's been some strong voices, which is including female employees within the organizations that are in the higher up positions that are kind of uncomfortable with, possibly hiring Ime Udoka, and Joe Tsai, the Nets GM, has been getting a lot of flack about that right now.
Well, good for good reason.
For good reason.
I mean,
yes.
Man.
No,
like,
it's not GM, owner. Excuse me.
Like, it's just like, I mean, it's just like the Nets are this. It's really sucks for the Nets fan base, because the Nets were. It's funny to think about it. The Nets were a up and coming fun team with the D'Angelo Russell era Nets.
They really were.
They scrounged to find these good, like, Rondae Hollis, Jefferson, Karis LeVert had like
Jared Allen
playing really solid. Jared Allen. They had a bunch of solid players who like fell to them, and then they obviously traded everything for KD, which is true, it's correct objectively for KD, I guess. It's probably or trade everything to build the team around KD. But to be honest, it was that like the whole thing was like they literally like catered to KD, and people were like, that's how it felt like, and then it's just been constant. Like, it just feels like the Nets are just built like and obviously the Duke thing was like gasoline in the fire there, and like when you make a decision to continuously accept Kyrie's bullshit, and then trade away, and then trade for like then trade for like Ben Simmons, who obviously had his own like not as controversy, but Ben Simmons his own like has a lot of weird media attention. Like, you're just putting Udoka's like, you're like, why not just add Udoka? And like they and for them, like, they obviously care about winning more than they care about like people, because like Kyrie's obviously a kind of someone who's like morally pretty bad, although he's not like I think many people agree. Like, this is I guess this is a part of my like this is now we'll get to opinion is Kyrie is probably not not outwardly anti-Semitic. He's not outwardly anti-Jewish people. He's just a confused dude who's just loves his conspiracy theories. I mean, the guy still really does not believe in the Earth being
woke god.
Globe. But
I agree with you. He's definitely not like but like.
But I mean,
he's like the biggest worry. What's the biggest worry the Celtics have right now? That Peyton Pritchard's unhappy. Like the fucking Nets, like their whole organization is like
it's one thing after the other with them.
Yeah,
it's. I'd say I feel bad, but I don't.
No.
Yeah, you feel bad for the fan. You feel bad for like the 13-year-old kid.
Maybe the fans.
The 13-year-old kid who like loves his who just wants to watch basketball. Like it's the Nets. Like, Nets are number 2, and number 1 is the Browns fans. Like this, I cannot as fans, we Celtics fans do not like the Nets, and the Nets are douches. The Nets organization is kind of douchey. But like, come on, would am I like, oh, Nets fans are the best? Like, no, but again, there's children out there. Think about the children. The children love. No, the children just want to watch their favorite team that they plays in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and they gotta do.
So Brooklyn suspends Kyrie for at least 5 games. Today, actually, on the day of this recording, Adam Silver and Kyrie had their little meeting that Adam Silver announced that he was going to plan. Yeah. So that
He's still
happened today
he's
as
still a lot of
well.
stuff.
He
Let's-
Jalen Brown and the MBPA um are trying to appeal Kyrie Irving's suspension because they don't think it's fair based off what he did. As well. I don't know if you saw that tweet as well. Jalen Brown,
Yeah,
he's not really, and him and Jalen Brown are
pretty
buddies.
bad.
So yeah, I really could not care less whether this man is in the league or not anymore. Like I have no interest to hear any of his interviews. I mean, he has a very appealing game. I just don't care. Like I don't know. I feel like he's just going, you
He
know,
looks really bad for the NBA. We are a league with a solid amount of good press. We have had plenty of bad press, but I like to quote like NFL. The NFL has had a lot of problems with some really horrible human beings
mhm.
like Deshaun Watson, who then got a job,
Sean
and the NBA.
Watson, Mike Vick.
Oh yeah, like I mean, and like so many well, there's a lot of guys who a lot of people who got in trouble for hitting their wives and hitting girlfriends and doing some and obviously Aaron
Sexual
Hernandez
harassment
as New
cases.
England, but and also for people who think that the NFL just might be, the NFL also has like way more players. It's a 50-man roster, so
Yeah.
but even numbers percentage wise, it's just like they really it's clearly like they have different vibes and different amount of weight on punishments for these players and different amount of background checking. But
Absolutely.
the NBA has a history of being solid. Miles Bridges we'll see if he comes back. I think he's done. Hopefully.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you see that he apparently filed a restraining order against his girl, but when he beat up, I was like,
Yeah,
yo, wait, how? What?
I'm not surprised. It's illegal. It's definitely illegal. It's definitely he's definitely like trying to make himself look like the victim. It's definitely illegal. It's
I
definitely like
was
some kind
like,
of
you
sneaky ass
got
move.
some nerve. That's
No
crazy.
shot.
I
And
just
then
saw that today on Twitter, and I had to share that when you brought his name up.
yeah, and then obviously for recently there's Josh Primo, who's like
Oh, yeah.
going is
Yeah, what's going on with
is
that?
the-
Like, what the hell?
So
Yeah.
Josh Primo is apparent as like his story is that he accidentally showed his penis to a therapist.
Yeah.
And that's obviously and when you cannot you show when you show you know when you're naked, you know when your things are showing, and multiple times is not a mistake. And it was and he's doing this to a therapist who then has to like leave her job. It's
Yeah.
gross. Like there's a reason like they waived him. They didn't try to trade him into another player. They said fuck this. I don't want to deal with him. He's really so gross. He says he's mental health issues. He does. Maybe he has that combined with being a sexual deviant, but it's cool. Like at least he's off the team. I think and maybe hopefully the NBA career is over. Maybe we'll look back on this talk and being like, shit, maybe the NBA has a lot to go on off to a lot as it needs a lot more progress too. But I think we when you see a guy like Kyrie Irving, he looks so bad for the league, and just to I guess we probably should take back and I'll take this because I'm someone who knows enough about the so Kyrie didn't just promote and platform a black power. It wasn't about black empowerment. I mean, well, maybe it was partially, but it's a black Hebrew Israelites, which are canonically known now. They are not canonically is not the phrase, but they're known as people who believe that they are the true people of Israel, not what now historically believed as Jewish people. Although obviously Israel is extremely divisive topic when it comes to anybody. Mm-hmm. But the difference is that they also have a disdain towards Jewish people. And they have a lot of Holocaust was overblown. Holocaust was not real. Vernacular, which is like you can believe on who was the original settlers of Israel. That's not. I don't think it's inherently anti-Semitic, But when you go as far as say like, okay, and you quote Hitler, which is what the documentary did,
So literally,
you are morally in the wrong. Like you can't like this. You are being such it is such a horrible film, and like maybe in like Kyrie Kyrie like didn't like was what his response to all you anti-Semitic was, I'm not anti-Semitic, I am Semitic, because I know that how can I be anti-Semitic if I know the origins of my people, which is obviously like he's saying like I can't be anti-Semitic, I'm a true Semite.
Don't forget, he
I
knows the
again
Oxford Dictionary. That's
and
the
he
most
knows the Oxford
important
Dictionary.
part from that interview.
And this is stuff that is obviously it sounds exactly like the Black Hebrew Israelites who are such a anti-Semitic group. And but you can say you can say that maybe I don't feel like I'm anti-Semitic because I actually feel like that I'm a true Semite. But it's obviously the discussion is Judaism, which is a religion. So and he obviously didn't even want to apologize to that. So
yeah.
it's a really bad look, and it's obviously very easy to not do. I think a lot a lot of people are protective of his freedom of speech, which is he does have freedom of speech, but you as an employee of a company, you kind of I could not post that shit. So sorry, I don't mean to overdo it, but it's this is like a pretty normal reaction to a pretty uncomfortable situation. It's about right.
Yeah, that's where we are right now in the world. I mean, yeah, you can.
What do we?
I mean,
that's a good question. What do we feel about
things,
this? Yeah.
Well, I mean, overall, like that's like this is where if you decide to post something like that, yeah, you absolutely can, but you're representing a company and they, absolutely have the right to be like, we don't want to be associated with that and whatever you're posting, regardless if you're outright promoting it, even though it's promotion. If you're putting it on your social media, you know what you're doing. You can't just be like, because in the interview, if you guys did not see, when the reporter asked about him promoting it, he said, I didn't promote that on my thing. You're posting on your social media, that's promoting it.
Right.
So
if to be honest, it's very hard not to promote something unless it's already huge. And if you're already huge, then you're probably gonna have commentary. So if there's a huge show. Let's say there's a huge movie that's woke racist, then you reposting it is without any context probably means that you disagree with it. And but you quite literally very much promoting it, considering this is something that no one would ever have heard of. Like the movement many people know of. Clearly, like they've had, this has not been like Deshaun Jackson, and Steven Jackson of the NBA also were promoting these type of views, and they promoted an almost identical quote from Hitler. But this movie was not. No one would ever heard of without it. So good for it. I just think these guys these guys have megaphones, and I think many of them know exactly what to say. And Kareem I wish Kareem had that biggest megaphone of all time. He's the dude.
Kareem is very good at calling people out on their shit.
If you are someone who cares, even if you're curious at all about the NBA or curious about social issues, search up Kareem's blog. Kareem's blog has more W's than Kareem does in his NBA career. He has a lot of fucking W's. The dude is a goat of basketball, and he's Bill Russell and him. Absolutely incredible basketball, and somehow so much better even at social issues. Obviously, rest in peace to Bill Russell. But
Kareem has always been very good at calling people out on their shit. I mean, even he's been doing it to LeBron, who's on the Lakers right now. So no,
and he's someone who does a lot of great things in the community.
Indeed.
So I think that this is obviously a topic that I've hosted for now. What do you guys feel about the suspension? Is this the right amount? Do you feel like do the steps? Here's the question: is one suspension right amount? It's probably like a yes or no thing. Steps. I think this is. I'm personally of the opinion. I'll go over the steps really quick. Apologize, condemn movie, which he apologized on Instagram. 500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. Sensitivity trading, anti-Semitic training, meet with the Anti-Defamation League, the Jewish leaders, and meet with Joe Tsai to develop straight understanding. That's another whole other thing. As Kyrie would Joe Tsai, the owner of this team, he would text Kyrie Irving, someone who he obviously employs, and Kyrie just never responded. That was a post. That was a source that said that, and so the fact that they had to get fined and suspended to get him to talk to one of his bosses is pretty bad, pretty weird. But do you guys think the suspension is the right amount? And do you guys think that those steps will he take those steps? It's 6 steps, but they're clearly something that Kyrie doesn't like being told to do. So
I think he'll do them, but like, I mean, I don't really know. Like, how do you? It's just an awkward thing. Like, how do you find like what is the right amount of games? You know, it's just such like a weird thing. I mean, I guess 5 is fine, but I don't want to like. I'm just sick of the guy. Like, I don't even.
Yeah,
care
absolutely.
In the NBA
Yeah, I don't.
again, but I guess the suspension is fine. I don't really know like what 20 games seems like a lot, but then when you think about what he did, like maybe it's deserving. But
good question. Good point.
I don't really want to say like I'm fine with it because then I feel like I'm not doing enough for the people that he offended. But I also don't want to say that
I think
too much because like, or I don't want to say that. Yeah, I don't want to say it's too much because it's probably not. Like it's just a weird topic.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an absolutely good point.
That's kind of where I'm at with that. That's kind of where I am at with it too. And at this point, I really think it's just going to be with if teams actually just want to have to deal with any drama that he could bring in. Because now this is really becoming a reoccurring thing now, and people are starting to see that like wherever this dude goes, he's just causing problems.
For sure.
And I mean, maybe there'll be some teams that are desperate enough and think that, you know, if they can get Kyrie, they can give themselves a chance to, I don't know, make the playoffs or something like that. Or if they get other pieces, maybe build a contender if they wanted to get Kyrie or whatever the hell. But I think it's just going to be now depending on if, you know, they actually want to, if teams actually just want him at this point. And again, like I said, I'm cool if he does not play another game in the NBA again. I really could not care less.
That brings me to a new question I thought of right now. And you know, I mean, you know, if you guys want to change subject, but are there any players that have he's got a lot of money, so I don't know, fumbled the bag, but fumbled the legacy bag as much as Kyrie. Kyrie, let's be honest, we have all watched Kyrie play amazing basketball with the Cavs and even great basketball with the Celtics, even with some drama. Kyrie, are there guys of Kyrie's level that who could have gone, who probably who easily now could probably never come back to a team just because no one thinks he's worth it, or if he never gone down this rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, the guy would be a forced ballot Hall of Famer. And now I think many people aren't even unsure of his future in this league. Is there anyone you guys think of that you can compete with him, or is he up there?
He's probably
from NBA champion.
Maybe Karl Malone with the whole.
Karl Malone definitely. Karl Malone is famously a underrated player because of his many players. Many rankings have him. Like, you know, he's a top 20 player. Many rankings don't barely mention him because he's just kind of an asshole. No one wants to give him credit. That's fair. Come along. Latrell Sprewell and Stephen Marbury and Steve Francis are all guys who all of them had a ton of talent and obviously had either ego problems, or it's Latrell Sprewell, I think, assaulted someone on his team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, but it sucks to see someone with talent. I think we all love basketball, and Kyrie, if Kyrie was a likable guy, that would obviously be a positive for the league. That Giannis is frustrating to watch because he destroys you and he's also fouls a lot. But Giannis is a great part of the league because the dude's is this great Venn diagram of amazing at basketball and also like super fun and super nice.
Good human being, yeah.
So it just sucks. Yeah, I think we all kind of was saying like Kyrie stinks. It kind of stinks.
But it is beautiful to see with the Nets, especially because Ben Simmons has been playing atrocious as well this season.
He's not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely not our problem. So Crazy because I think we all had the Nets in the playoffs, and I think they could still obviously very well make the playoffs. We'll see what happens with
I
this
put the
whole
net.
thing.
I like
Yeah, Nets.
I felt bad for rooting against for rooting for thinking that KD was going to be this Kate that I was like no chance KD could KD's team could be that bad. So I was like I put the I put I forgot about them and forgot them in my top 8, and then I was like no, they have to be top 3, and
Yeah.
now I'm like top 3, maybe top 6. But yes, they that's a good question. I don't. We'll see if they'll even how
We
much
have
they're
to
contending.
see.
It's talent even if you Kyrie just sitting on the bench, that's a lot of bad publicity. That's not going to
Yeah.
help your team win games.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the vibes are too good there right now. So I have no idea what's going to happen with them. And
11th seed.
yeah, that would be beautiful. I'd love to see it. But
They're right now as they are right now the 11th seed. They're not in, but I think they've won.
I think they won their
I
last
think
game.
the last few games they've won since Kevin Kyrie, and we'll see. No, they lost the Mavs. They lost the Mavs by 2, but yeah, they're obviously good. It'll be an interesting team maybe in the playoffs, but who knows now? They're such a question mark.
No, definitely. But I think that we'll find out more about that team as the season goes on and what happens in development with that situation, obviously. But it's very ugly for them right now, and they need a new coach too.
Yeah.
So
this dude, if Kyrie had never said anything, or if the Nets hadn't fired Nash and tried to go for Udoka, I think we might be still talking about Draymond punching Jordan Poole.
Jordan Peele.
That would be crazy. Dude, that would be even that I would never stop talking about. But Jordan Poole, yeah, that has gone very quiet. Maybe he's forgiven each other. Hopefully he's apologized.
I doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a good question. We'll have to figure out if maybe if we're running out of topic someday, we'll have to talk about is Draymond made a mini documentary after the punch. And, that dude is clown. That dude is that will if you're scrounging for something, that's something to watch. But Draymond is I don't know his middle name, but it's I think it might be clown, honestly. Very clownish.
So we updated about the Celtics. Celtics are looking good right now, especially without
fond over Tatum.
Yes. We were very fond of Tatum. And
yes.
We have the Detroit coming up tomorrow at 7:30 at home. So hopefully that's a win, even though Detroit always seems to give us problems in the regular season and it's just a constant
is it the
thorn
Knicks?
in the side. No,
nope. I'm looking at the wrong
Detroit.
team.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Brooklyn.
Yep.
I was looking at their recent records.
Celtics take on the
Cade Cunningham is very good.
He is, and they have Jaden Ivey too, who's also. Yes,
I'm happy for this team. I think I don't know what their record. They're 3-8. They're not a great team, but they're a fun team. Another team. NBA is looking good.
Yeah, a lot of young talent, so I'm excited for them. So
for sure.
If you're here checking out this video, thank you for chilling and listening. We appreciate it as always. Make sure to follow us on Lucky Clover Pod on Instagram and TikTok as well. TikTok, I gotta get them TikTok skills up, man. I'm telling you. But I will be uploading there. I upload about the game updates and other things as well going on with the Celtics. So if you are hanging out with us again, thank you very much. Celtics 7-3 again. Hopefully we can get a dub tomorrow and make it 8-3. So if you're hanging out with us, thank you. And we will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.